So I found this interesting clip on the internet. It's from Vivek, who's running for president of the United States. Now, I'm going to show the clip and then we're going to talk and analyze it. I'm not interested in the political side of things. So this is not a political piece. I'm not favoring here or there, whoever is going to run is going to run. We are only interested in picking out what's good for us from these clips, what we can analyze, what we can learn from it so that we can make more powered, informed decisions. Okay, so I'm going to play that clip and let's see what happens at the end.
So with one hand, okay, the Blackrocks of the world are pressuring Exxon and Chevron and others to effectively drill for less oil with emissions caps. Turns out those companies have to drop oil production projects to meet those net zero standards by 2050. Guess who's... let me ask you just a question. What your net reaction is? You may know where I'm going with this, so you may probably get it right. Do you think those projects are still proceeding? Or do you think that they actually just got dropped in the interest of staving off global emissions? Which do you think it is between the two?
Dropped.
No, wrong answer actually. Projects are proceeding. They're just proceeding under new ownership. So the firms that are buying up these projects from Chevron include the likes of PetroChina on the other side of the world. Now you ask the final question, guess who's one of the large shareholders of PetroChina? It is none other than Blackrock.
So what does this all mean? Well, first of all, for those of you who don't know who Blackrock is, they are the world's biggest financial institution. They manage reportedly more than $10 trillion in assets. That's trillion, man. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, the word billion looked big. And now we have companies that are doing trillions and trillions and trillions of asset management under their portfolio. And between BlackRock, Vanguard, and Fidelity, they basically own everything. They already own basically every company on the S&P 500's list and a lot of companies worldwide, not just in America. They don't have any borders. They don't have any nationality that they are loyal to. They go for wherever the money is, wherever the wealth is, wherever the assets are that can be conquered and owned by them, they will go there. Now, having known that, BlackRock has been exposed by Vivek for effectively taking the wealth of Americans by promoting a, environmentally friendly. So this whole concept of ESG, which is environmental social governance, you should look into what it actually is, what it actually means, dive deep into that topic, right? It is not a policy that is meant for they promote it as fixing global warming and climate change. But really what it is it's removing capitalism. It's removing ownership or private ownership of assets from everyday people like you and I, from everyday businesses, but also from the big businesses, and centralizing it all into one globalist government. And when I say government, I don't mean president, prime minister, or any of that kind. These days, we kind of all know deep down inside, it's not the politicians running the show, it's the bureaucracy behind them that's doing all the movement. And the people that's, pull the strings on the bureaucracy are effectively corporate interest. That's pretty well covered everywhere. Now, here's what I want to talk about with you guys or discuss. You've seen from Vivek's own mouth, this is not a nobody. This is a guy who has a pretty good shot at running for president. Between him and Donald Trump, I still think Donald Trump has a more popularity in this race, but hey, he's got valid points. I think nobody can argue with that. Now, he's exposed BlackRock for what they're doing with oil and stealing it from Americans, putting it in the hands of the Chinese, and BlackRock working with the Chinese to own that oil as well, right? They are effectively playing dirty. Would you agree with me on that? And if we agree on that, then here's my next question. What makes you think they're not going to play dirty for everything else? They already own all the shares. They already own, effectively all ownership of every single publicly listed company that's worth owning, right? What do you think? What makes you think they're going to play fair when it comes to owning real estate? When it comes to owning all the gold and silver, when it comes to owning all the Bitcoin? Those of you that are new to my channel, Freedom Family, right? You probably don't know. I grew big in Indonesia. I already have an established influence platform thing going on in Indonesia. It's called Mindstack. And on that channel, I've been predicting for years. I'm not talking for months or weeks, for years, what BlackRock's going to do where Bitcoin is concerned. They've been pushing what's called a ETF for Bitcoin, right? And back when the news first came out, I think it was around about June 2023. I'm sort of remembering off the top of my head. But when that news came out, my immediate reaction wasn't, oh, okay, ETF's coming out. I said, Yeah, they're going to do this so that they can control Bitcoin's price movements. They can become market makers for the price movement of Bitcoin. Now, that's a very technical term, but what it basically means is they're going after Bitcoin just like they did with shares and everything else, and oil, as you can see from this video, right? And what I said back then was they need to get rid of the whales first. So they need to get rid of all the people that already are big players in Bitcoin. And one of those was CZ, the owner of Binance, the biggest exchange in crypto. Now, for those of you that are new to crypto, you're going to be like, what the hell is Brian just saying right here, right? I'm saying, look, all you need to know is BlackRock, who is the biggest financial institution in the world, they got there not necessarily through ethical, straightforward methods. They got there by making sure they can take everything from their competition and leaving nothing left, scraps for everybody else. That has been their modus operandi, the way they operate, basically since they've been created from the very beginning. And between BlackRock, Vanguard, and Fidelity, they own pretty much the entire world. Now, if you understand that, what do you think that means for you and me, us everyday people? I might be a successful person in my own right, in the sense that I'm not financially stressed. I don't have any debts that are bad debts. I don't have any, I have passive income coming in from all these different assets. So I have a certain level of success for myself, and I'm happy with what I've achieved. But I'm still a nobody in the big picture scheme of things. Okay, and so are you, probably, watching this video. And what it means for us is we are under threat, really under threat, of having no opportunity at all to be able to own everything that matters to us in life. I'm not talking about being the wealthiest person in the world. Forget about that. I'm talking, you won't even be able to own a home outright if what they do keeps going on. Heck, not even own a home outright. You might not even be able to buy a property in any decent area to live in because it's already been owned by corporate interests. I'm not going to name names, but we've been talking about several of the names today, right? Go connect the dots yourself. If they own everything, including real estate, which I predict is their next move heading into 2024, 2025, right? That means you and I are facing our last chance to really create privatized wealth for us, for our families, for the people we love, right? We are facing our final years of being able to stand up, right? Own something for ourselves, live peacefully, live happily, live stress-free, have the capacity, the capability to be free. Be free in terms of money, be free in terms of energy, mind, spirit, family, right? We are facing our final years, okay? Now, beyond that, I'm not a total pessimist here, okay? It's not the first time that something like this has happened in history. If you read books, if you look through history, what is happening now has happened pretty much once every couple hundred years, okay? It's happened before, all the way back in Roman times, right? Why did Julius Caesar get killed? Really, why did he get killed? They say, oh, because Brutus stabbed him in the back, right? Why did they stab him in the back? What was the underlying thing that made them hate Julius Caesar and want to kill him, right? Go research it, right? And when you understand this, you'll understand that if they pull this off, they being BlackRock pulls off this move of owning everything, the only way out for us is through violence. I'm not promoting violence. I do not condone violence in any way, shape, or form. But historically, that has always been the case, right? When all the wealth is concentrated in the hands of just a few individual people. We're talking about the 7 billion people in the world, and maybe 1,000 people own everything. 1,000 families own the entire world, right? Don't you think people are going to get mad? Don't you think people are going to get really, really frustrated about that? And they're going to want a piece for themselves. They're going to want to take it by force even. Like, why do you think there's more crime happening on the streets in all these capital cities around the world? You see videos of San Francisco. It used to be a safe haven. It used to be the golden standard in America in terms of what a city should be. And the last video I saw about San Francisco was talking about how there's literal poop on the roads, and the only time it was cleaned up was when the president of China came in. That was the last video I saw about San Francisco. It has basically gone downhill, right? Now, when that happens, you're going to see an increase in crime. People are going to be more inclined to do violent things, do naughty, criminal things, steal, etc. I don't condone it. I don't think anybody should do that. But when given no other choice, it's either steal or die, I think people would go for the steal option. Now, I'm not saying it's going to get that extreme, but I am saying that historically, when this situation happens, right, what happens is people get violent, right? What do the big people want? What do the people that own this world want? They go, well, we know people are going to get violent, right? At least don't get violent at us who owns everything. That's what they're thinking, right? And so why do you think in the media there's all this, like, you see in the media there's always somebody, versus somebody. There's country A going to war with country B. There's religion A fighting with religion B. There's one race fighting another race. There's one gender identity, having war with other gender identity. There's always a conflict between social classes, but it has never been poor versus rich. It has always been poor versus poor in any shape or form. Do you notice that? Why do you think that is? Because they know people are going to get mad. They know people are going to get violent. And when people get violent, at least kill the poor people, right? That's what they think. At least that's my opinion of what they think, right? Now, what do we do about that? Well, it means you should be extremely motivated right now to not become a statistic, not expose yourself even to the risk of this happening. I'm not saying this will happen at all. It might just pass over. We might all live peacefully poor, peacefully begging for scraps, right? That might be our destiny. Maybe, okay? But I'm saying that there is a degree of risk that you need to think about. And if you understand that there's a degree of risk, and historically that risk has led to fatalities around the world at a mass scale, right? Then you should be preparing yourself, okay? Getting as rich as possible so that you can privatize your own freedom. That is key. That is what we condone and promote and encourage and support here in the Freedom Family channel, right? I actually read your comments. We're still a very, very new channel. I'm already established in other markets, but here in the English market, it's still new. I got barely any subscribers and views, right? But I actually read your comments. I try to support you guys as much as I can. We put together a Telegram community for this. We will be putting together a website for this too, freedomfamily.co. Okay, it's not up and ready yet while I'm recording this, but it'll be up there. And all of it is designed so that you are leveraged in the right way against chaos, disorder, anarchy, and hell on earth. I'm not saying that in a literal sense. I'm saying that in a metaphoric and emotional sense. Now, if you are with me on that, then here's a couple of things you can do. First of all, it's better to do this journey with a team, with a group, with friends, right? Friends of like mind. So you could share this with the people who you love most and who you think can tag with you along this journey. I cannot possibly show you what, all the things that I've personally accomplished and how to help you get there. It's not a one video journey. It's a series of journeys, okay? A series of experiences where we might even have to get together. I might have to do a webinar or something like that. We might have to do a Q&A, ask me anything like that, right? So tag this with friends and family who need to go along this journey with you. Bookmark me, subscribe to this channel, everything, all that stuff, because you want to be exposed to the people that are making it. And it's not just me. You can do this with anybody else out there who's also got substance to their message and they're actually showing you how to get by, right? That's fine, but you need to get exposed to the environment and community of it. We are offering you ours, okay? We already have an established, stream of passive income everywhere, businesses here and there. We have an established track record of having achieved certain things. And if you would like some of that, I am here now offering to show you as much as I can and help you as much as I can, okay? So we will see you whenever it is we see each other in the next video, in our community, whatever that happens to be. I will see you inside. Till then, take care, and here's to your success.